These are my thoughts on waking up with Sam Harris, but first, the story of how I came to read the book. I went to my local bookstore to buy a copy of Superintelligence by Nick Bostrom, but I had to wait 1 to 2 weeks for it since they didn't have it in stock. Hungry for something to read, I started looking around for anything that sparked my interest, and I ended up buying 2 books, one of which was Peace is Something You Can Learn. I'll put the details of that book in the description below. The main subject of the book is mindfulness, backing up everything they claim with studies that seem to prove really it does affect people's degree of happiness. It's a really short book, roughly 100 pages, so it didn't take long to read, but the ideas hung around in my head for a lot longer than that, and so I started looking at some books about mindfulness. Again, in the same bookshop, I looked around but wasn't really satisfied with what I found. It all sounded too wishy-washy. As I was preparing to walk away and leave, the guy from the bookstore showed me the book by Sam Harris that I must have overlooked myself. As I had heard some of his Waking Up with Sam Harris podcast and liked what I heard, I didn't doubt for a second and bought the book. Now my thoughts on it. After just finishing the book, I'm not sure I'm a step closer to finding out what to do with it all. Hell, I'm not even sure I knew what I was looking for in the first place, but I'll give you my thoughts on the book anyway. It's a book that really tries to give you a clear image of what spirituality can look like after you clean the religious part of it. 2 things that are absolutely clear to me after reading this book is that 1, if you're the happiest person alive and you want to know how to stay happy even if shit happens or you're in that shitty place right now and you're looking for a way out, this is a good read. You'll have some practical things you can try out, some ways to meditate, but most of all, he backs it all up. Of course, I won't go and check all the science myself, but look around on the internet. He knows what he's talking about, but whatever you do, don't take my word for it, go and look for yourself. And 2, even if you read the book and say, yes, this is my new way of life, it's not going to be easy. You could just as well have just read Running Without Fear by Kenneth Cooper, you know, the guy who invented the Cooper test. If you start on this path, you won't know if you'll eventually run a spiritual marathon, but you will sure know you will have a fitter mind trying to aspire it. Being a book that tries really hard to meticulously back everything up with scientific studies, it's definitely not the best book if you're looking for a really practical guide to religious-free mindfulness. But it's nevertheless a good place to start if you need to convince yourself that it's possible to separate the 2. What I will do now is go and try out the first way of meditating that's mentioned in the book. Meditating by focusing on your breath. And every time your thoughts drift off, bring your focus back to breathing. I'm not sure what will come of it, but if you never try, you'll never be able to tell anyone what came of it. I'll leave you with that. I hope this is useful to somebody out there. Please let me know what you think of it all in the comments below, and definitely let me know what your thoughts are if you've read the book. Thanks. Take care. Peace.